can have GenesisAI take over and kick off as one of the first. We'd hate for people to miss the
For sure. For sure. Excited, actually, very excited. Thank you, Rob.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is Archil, CEO of GenesisAI. To start with, I'll tell a quick story of how we got started. So when I was running my previous AI company, I discovered what is the biggest fundamental problem in AI space, which is there are so many AI models that are developed and operated in silos. There's basically no connectivity among AI tools. People are reinventing the wheel. There's no way AI models to easily learn from each other or exchange data or trade service. So it's sort of paradox that AI models, which are all about learning as much as possible, are not learning from each other, right? So we decided to solve this problem by creating sort of a constitution that will specify how distinct AI models can work together. For example, how you can have speech recognition model working with translation model to produce speech translation. Our vision is to build basically a set of rules that will enable any AI model to be connected to each other. And what we would like to achieve in the future is to be sort of a go-to place where hundreds of thousands of AI models will all be interacting with each other, learning from each other, exchanging data, trading services, and so on. And we believe that not only that will increase accuracy rate and functionality of these AI models, but most importantly, we believe this will be potentially the best foundation for artificial general intelligence. And that's where we want to go. That's our goal and our hope, that we will be able to lay foundation for creation of artificial general intelligence, which probably, if it ever happens, will be the single most valuable technology that the mankind has ever seen. When it comes to where we are now and where we are going, so we have a beta product up and running. We have 6 AI tools deployed. We have users. We have suppliers. This is our companies, AI companies and individuals who like to deploy their products on our platform. We already have made lots of announcements on our Net Capital page and other page on WeFunder. And we also have companies who are using our platform. Where we would like to go from here is to go basically accelerate our growth by 10 times. And that's why one reason why we are raising currently, and also another reason because we would like to give everyone to be able to join AI revolution and to be able to participate in building the future of the AI. I also briefly talk about our team. So I used to work at Bridgewater Associates, largest hedge fund in the world. I did investing in trading there. I had AI startup. Before, my co-founder David has senior software engineering experience at Google, and my another co-founder Mena is doing currently physics PhD at Harvard, and he worked with me on my previous startup, and he has substantial experience in artificial intelligence. When it comes to where we would like to see ourselves, our milestones, we would like to see ourselves to have basically substantial market share in all things AI in the next few years, so that we will be sort of an app store of all things AI. So when you want AI, you just go to GenesisAI platform. And to summarize discussion, we are building a global AI marketplace which enables people and companies to buy or sell AI technology at scale. And our vision is to lay foundation for creation of artificial general intelligence by gathering all the AI tools that's out there into one single platform. And we believe that this will be completely transformational.
Thanks, Archil. This is really exciting. Appreciate you being here. So we've got a couple of questions already lined up. And if anyone, again, has any additional questions, please feel free to throw them in the Q&A. So quickly, Archil, right off the bat, for those unfamiliar, when you talk about artificial general intelligence, can you give us an overview of what that is?
For sure. So currently AI models can only do very, very specific niche things. For example, we can create AI models that will be able to play chess. But if you wanted to also play poker, you need to basically completely change or remodify it. So it's not easily adaptable currently AI models. And artificial general intelligence goal is to be able to be much more flexible, much more adaptable, and will be able to learn new things much faster. Similarly, I can learn poker if I just know how to play chess relatively easily, right? So I don't need to be remodified completely in order to be able to learn this. But that's the goal of artificial general intelligence, and we believe that probably will be the single most valuable technology of all times.
Exciting. And we have a couple of questions from the crowd. So first is, do you have any sales?
So we are still pre-revenue.
Still pre-revenue. And so on that note, while you're pre-revenue, there's another question of how do you generate revenue? So what is going to be the business model eventually?
That's a great question. So our business model is to take transaction fees. So for example, Apple takes around 30% fees from transactions on this marketplace. So we would like to be Apple, but for all things AI. And when buyer and seller transacts on our platform, we will take 30% fees from there.
Great. We have another question. Do you currently have access to large training data sets that you can make available to potential customers? And what can you tell us about the data available?
Yes, so when it comes to data available and what type of data we have been gathering, so we started targeting on the asset management space. So most of our data revolves around asset management, mostly around text data, right? Because we do lots of natural language processing. And the second aspect, the second industry we went to is healthcare. When it comes to making some of this data available, so usually big question that will determine what data that we can make publicly available is the type of deals that exist between GenesisAI and supplier, right? If supplier wants us to share this data to anyone freely, then we would be able to do so. If supplier wants people to pay for it, then we will not be able to do that. So this is a big question, and our goal, our vision is shared AI for all. Our vision is that everyone should be able to buy or sell AI technology. For instance, if you are smart PhD computer science student in, let's say, Romania, there's almost no way you can do business-to-business sales in US and Europe without substantial costs, right? So you will be able to sell your technology using our platform. Or if you are another company who does not have ability to attract best of the best AI engineers, you will be able to request these AI products on our platform.
Really interesting. And a follow-up question from the same attendee. How large are the data sets you have access to at the moment?
It really varies. For example, one of the data sets, I think we have access to tens of thousands of news and articles, for example. I'm talking about news and articles, financial news and articles data that's useful, just different sources, Bloomberg, Reuters, and so on. And so this data really varies based on what type of data we are talking about. And one of the big goals we have is to have a platform where we have pretty much most of the important data on our platform.
Nice. Another couple quick questions. With whom do you partner to develop live interfaces? Or develop just interfaces, sorry, not live interfaces.
I'm not sure what kind of interface are talking about, but if we're talking about, for example, how our software looks, because I assume most attendees are not very technical here. So if we was that, so of our front-end developers, take care of that. If you're talking about interface of how people interact with AI models, then our backend engineers take care of that. So we are basically doing most of the stuff in-house. It's sort of a short summary.
Great. And we've got one last question here to finish up our time. So you're pre-revenue and you have some part-time team members and you've raised money both on WeFunder and now you're raising money on Net Capital. Can you talk about the progress you've made so far at GenesisAI and kind of what are a couple things you might point to that might make people want to invest?
For sure. Yes. So since March, that was time when we raised our WeFunder round, March 2020, we announced lots more partnerships. You guys can see all that on our Net Capital page and on our WeFunder page. We also improved our technology. We have, I think, around 5x more users right now, but I need to double check the exact number than we had before. And so this is, first reason why we are accelerating is because of what we are doing. And second reason is because of sort of COVID-driven technology adoption and acceleration, right? So these are sort of two fundamental drivers. And also, I'm sure some of my investors are currently attending, and I'd like to thank everyone. We have almost 2,000 investors, or I guess there are 1,600 investors now. We raised around 700,000 in this round only. So very excited to be sharing this journey with everyone.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Archil. We appreciate you taking the time, and thanks to all the attendees for the great questions. If anyone has additional questions for Archil, or you're watching this via recording and you have questions for him, check out his Net Capital page.